Using the conditional formatting engine is pretty straightforward. All you really have to do is enable it in the particular grid and add conditional formats inside of each particular column. If you look at this particular sample, let's first go to the references. Notice that we only have the Silverlight base assembly and the Silverlight assembly for the xamWeb grid. If you go over to the XAML, you'll see that we basically just have our grid here, and then we're turning on conditional formatting here. Now if you move down to the particular columns that have these items added, you'll see that for this particular text column, the units in stock, that we are adding to the conditional format collection. And inside of there we have a 3 color scale conditional format rule. In this particular rule, I'm defining what should be the color of the maximum value, green, color of the minimum value, red, and the median color, yellow. If you go a little bit further down on the reorder level column, you'll see one of these different kind of condition that's been added, a data bar conditional format rule. With this data bar condition, it'll insert a bar of data inside of each of these fields. It's almost like having a gauge without you having to retemplate the particular cell. It's very easy to set up, and you can set the particular values of what color to use. The data brush, you can see that you can set the negative data brush as well. Now let's run this and see what happens. When this loads, you'll see that this particular column, just like what you saw in the design view in Visual Studio, you'll see the various highlighting of the particular cells. You'll see that 0 has a value of a styling of red, and you'll see the higher values have a green. And where somewhere in the middle, you'll see a yellow to an orangish tint. If you go over to the reorder level, you'll see that you have the data bars being inserted inside each of those cells, and they're relative to each other because the range is from 0 to 25. You'll see 25 takes up the full area, whereas 0 takes up nothing, and 15 about the middle. Please know that there's a lot more other formats that you can apply. There's an average value conditional format rule. There's also an icon conditional format rule, and a 2 color scale conditional format rule. Besides this, there's a whole slew of Boolean rules available as well. These include setting some sort of condition between 2 other values, maybe greater than a particular value, less than a particular value, and you can combine these. You can have multiple conditional formats per column. There's also an isTerminal rule property that says if this condition is met, use this style and don't go any further to check through all the other values. Typically how it would work, if it had 3 conditional format rules, it would go and evaluate each successive one and apply the latest one that matched that criteria. But if it has the isTerminal rule, it won't follow with that execution.
Infragistics. On the web at infragistics.com.